All right. Welcome to Letters to Madam. Here on this show, we're going to give some relationship advice, and that's sistership, cousinship, all the ships, your ship, my ship, our ship. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about some real life personal things, some things that happen, or maybe even some situations. This is Letters to Madam, where we love you and we're here for the I don't want to say tea or juice, but that's what I want to say. Tea or juice. I'm going to say hello to my co-host. Hello, Titus Glenn. Hello, Mr. Ricky Jones. Brianna Cox.
Hi.
And Miss Jennifer. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
All right. We're going to get right on in there, okay? So today on Letters to Matter, we're going to do things a little bit different because we
And that's on me.
welcome to Letters to Matter. Welcome to Letters to Madam. We are gonna do things a little bit differently today because we have some different walks of life, and so we're gonna have some different opinions on some different things. So I want to ask just one general question. So today we won't have a letter; we will have a question for the group regarding relationships. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start. Okay. So the question is: have you ever been in a situation where things went too far and you felt like you started it, and so now you wanted to stop, but did not know if that was fair? Okay. One more time, just for the masses. Um, have you ever been in a situation where things went too far and you felt like you started it, so you wanted to stop, but didn't think it was fair? Well, I feel like either Titus or Ricky wants to go first. So, Mr. Glenn, let's go with the question.
Still meditating on what that
You were
is.
smiling. So you
Because
are
God is
Ricky.
good. I'm smiling because it's
Ricky,
just
what was the
it's
message?
huh?
We're not gonna do this on my show. We're not gonna do this on my show tonight, okay?
We not doing nothing.
Friend, we already had to come to Jesus last week.
Like 4 minutes
Not doing
in.
that this week, okay?
Oh, we did.
Friend,
We did.
okay. You know
Okay,
what?
so okay. You want me to go first, real?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so there's been situations recently to where not that I don't think I pretty much start anything, but I've learned I know how to finish it. I like I like to stay low. And I only finish things when I'm provoked. I went back in the corner. Yes, did that?
What? Ugh. Okay, Titus. All
So is
right.
this? Did I answer the question right?
I don't know if you did. I felt like you went this way, came
Well,
back.
that's what you need. I think we need to get a little clarification.
So okay, so let me go then. Let me go. So then we haven't,
Okay.
you know, yeah. But I feel like you answered it in a roundabout way without giving up too much juice. But that's
You want
okay.
me to tell? You want me to tell the situation?
I don't. Well, I want you to tell of a scenario. You know, a scenario. Let's talk about yeah. It's just a scenario where this could happen. You know.
Okay, we're talking about we're okay, of course we're talking relationship. So, like I said, I don't typically start things. So let's say, um, I'm trying to go talk to somebody about a situation,
Mhm.
and let's say they're offended because I brought it up, right? In this space that I'm in, if you come for me, I'm definitely coming for you, right? Because I at first I used to be that guy where I'm just gonna let you say what you gotta say, and I'm gonna hold my feelings in, and I'm just gonna take it. And but in this space, me coming to you wasn't me necessarily starting, but maybe trying to resolve.
Okay.
And because I feel a certain slight that you're not hearing me, and I feel like I have to voice a certain opinion, then I definitely know how to end it because I think in my past behavior, people didn't really think I could stand up for myself per se.
Okay.
And so I'm having to prove that my vocabulary is vast, and so you can know who you're dealing with. let me just educate you real quick and have a little spelling bee.
All right, Titus. Titus. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna go really quickly, and maybe we can, get to it. Yes. So I'm gonna say in a relationship, I'll say I was about, let me say when I first started dating, right? Didn't really have my feet planted in what to do, right? I knew I may have liked someone and there was an attraction there, but I wasn't experienced in like conversation, right? There's some red flags. You can have a conversation with somebody and a red flag goes up. They may say, take it somewhere that you weren't ready for it to go, right? So we want to be real on here. So let me say, in a conversation with newly dating someone, and say, for instance, they start talking about intimacy initially, like right the first day, right? And you like, okay, I seen your picture. You were cute. We texting. It was a vibe. But now that we're on the phone, there's no longer that same vibe because I wasn't on that page, right? But what I'm thinking is, did I give you the illusion that I was there already? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you may question. I know I question myself, like, did I give the assumption that, you know what I'm saying, that this may have been one of them type of dates? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I've been in situations where it went further than I wanted it to, and I was ready to like back out gracefully, but the conversation, I didn't necessarily end it as quick. When I seen the red flag, when they said something about intimacy and I wasn't ready to talk about it, I maybe changed the subject, which is giving that person the assumption like, oh, she's okay with me still talking about it. She just don't want to talk about it right now.
I think in that sense, though, sometimes there's a cat and mouse thing, right? Like I want to talk about it, but I don't know how to talk about it. And then when I get uncomfortable, now I want to play like, no, really didn't want to go there. But deep within the crevice of who we are, we're literally like, I want to come hither, but don't come hither. Just a thought.
I get that a lot, actually. I understand that a lot.
Go ahead. Elaborate on it. Go ahead.
I think for me, like in regards to the question and kind of what Titus just said, there's been times where I've been in a situation where I wasn't opposed to it, but then as things started going further and sometimes I get in my head because I feel a lot of things and I think a lot of things. And I was like, sometimes I just want to shut things down, not necessarily because it's like a permanent no, just because right now I need to think about things and reassess the situation and think about how I would be feeling in the long term versus this short term moment and prioritizing myself.
That's good. Because yeah, I feel like I've been in a lot of situations where I had to grow to that point to be like, I don't have to be in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, mm-hmm. I think that's growth. So I applaud you for that. Brianna, I really do. Ricky Jones. Hey, boom, boom. Ricky has a smile on his face. He knows of a scenario. Or, no, I'm just playing. Go ahead, Ricky. What do you have to say?
What's the or?
The or is you amazingly want to speak to the people. Because you've got a lot to say.
I think one, that's an interesting question. And I think everybody in the time comes to a point where, yes, that has happened. Mm-hmm. But it's about how you handle the situation. Do you do it morally? Do you do it spitefully? It's all about how you handle the situation. Have I been in one of those situations? Of course. How I backed out of it? I did it morally.
Did you always back out?
Let's ask the other person.
On a friend.
I brought you by Bath and Body Works. So, did you always? I had to change that. Did you? Was there a time that you didn't back out because you felt like, okay, I did initiate this, and we here now? So, you know what I'm saying? There's a time we will always have morally.
Is this question related to intimacy and maybe
It can be. It
dating,
can be
or
in.
is it
It
in
can be.
other relationships?
No, the question was an open-ended question. So how it, resonates with you. I mean, I believe this is an open-ended question because you could be engaging in drama, right? By talking to somebody about somebody. And then it got to a point to where now you are the person that name has been mentioned. You're like, okay, it went further than I wanted to. I'm ready to retreat. And it does not happen that way. And now you in the thick of things, do you get to back out gracefully? Like, how do you, in that situation, you're gonna have to think on your feet.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
if you put it in that term, if it comes down to the part of do I have to defend myself, that's what you've been asking. Because if you do have to defend yourself, then yes, by all means, you're going to do what you got to do to defend yourself. But some people can take the high road and allow people to say, well, say what you got to say about me because it's happened. But I mean, overall, if you're going into like
that's a real scenario that you just said, and you can use that in even intimacy. You can say, I'm defending myself because yes, I did engage, but now I'm in a place where I'm uncomfortable. And or I want to slow down because, like Brianna was stating, I may want to revisit this later, but as of right now, I am starting to feel I'm in a place where I'm not where I was when we first initiated the conversation. So to right now, I'm ready to, maybe let's revisit this another time. I can even go a little bit further because I believe, let's get real. We want to teach our kids, hey, let your no be no and your yes be yes. But sometimes your maybe is what gets you in trouble. When you're like, oh, it's not that bad. They don't really mean that. And they really do mean that. And you can get in a situation. I've been in a situation where it was like here and now, like literally. And it was like, am I ready to engage in this act?
But or when you don't give an answer. But when you don't give an answer sometimes. Oh my God, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, when you don't give an answer, like, I remember I once saw something, like, this is a popular quote, so it's nothing obscure or whatever, but the best choice you can make is making a choice. And so when you don't set boundaries, and that's something I struggle with. I know I mentioned, like, being like, oh, I know, like, I can walk away from things, but that's the thing, I'm walking away. I'm not shutting it down I'm not completely shutting it down. Right. I like leave the door.
Your thing is not clear. Like this is where I stand on that. Yeah. Okay. Miss Jennifer, how you, ma'am?
Well, I was just thinking about that because, younger people get themselves in these situations. They tend to get themselves in these situations a lot. The partying and the drinking, the drugs and the sex and all of those things. And we talk a good game, but then when you're putting that situation, now you have to either show up or shut up. And what are you going to do? And that's where you have to begin to realize that you are an individual. And what you do is not going to affect the entire group. It affects you. And so what you don't say will hurt you as much as when you say things that you really don't believe. So but there's never a time, and I tell my daughter this all the time, there's never a time where you cannot say no. You can always say no. You can always say stop. You can always say, I'm not comfortable. And the people who love you or who accept you and who care for you will accept those words from you and understand that no means no and stop is, she's had enough. It's time to stop. And those people who don't understand should be a quick reminder for you to say, okay, so those are the people I don't need to be around. You go out and sometimes you party a little differently with certain people. And you do that because of the comfort level that you have with those people, knowing that those people are not going to let me go too far from who I really am. And so hearing, Brianna's a lot younger than I am. And I know that that's just something that we all struggle with. And we struggle with that. And even as old as I am, I still struggle with those things sometimes. But I do realize now, with living, you have to say no, and you have to know when it's time to stop. I'm just not feeling it right now. It's time to stop. But, those times when you're in intimate situations, they could get very serious. And therefore you have to make sure that you know your surroundings, the people that you're with, and you have a way out. You just always have to know those things. So being safe is a big part of that as well as making those decisions. It's about being safe as well.
Yeah. And I just want to piggyback on that. I am 33 years old and Ricky is 25, I believe. But he did something that was over the moon.
Just put my age out here for these people to know.
Ricky is 33 years old. He did something over the moon for me that really, I think I know, well, to be honest, I don't think I've ever gotten it. And I didn't know it until he did it. And I was like, he messaged me. He said, if you need me to, I will come and pick you up right now. Now, I was totally fine. Like, I was good, having fun. But when he messaged me that, it sobered me up in a place to say, sometimes you need that friend that will say, and I'll speak for my experiences, older and newer, right? I'm 33, so people dating that's 33, the dating scene is crazy, right? We know because people are crazy. And you need that friend that you know you can call. If, say, for instance, I don't care if you go to Dave and Buster's and you meet somebody at Dave and Buster's and you're having dinner, and during the conversation, you realize that you don't feel comfortable walking back to your car. You need to be able to call somebody and say, hey, friend, and this is just, I think as you grow, you get friends that you can be like, hey, girl, call me in a minute. And like, it's an emergency, so I can leave. You know what I mean? But you need to be able to have that friend that you can say, hey, I need you to pick me up as soon as I walk out this door. I'm going to pretend like I'm going to the restroom. Let me know when you get here. And I don't feel comfortable going back to my car because I think they're going to follow me home. Everything was good. No red flags. We met up, everything. But when you got to a place where you were uncomfortable, you didn't have an out. And I think as I was growing in every situation, a relationship, I do not necessarily know if I had that. So then I felt like I got to deal with this, you know. When I was dating, it was a while back. When I was dating, I remember going to a particular restaurant or something like that, and the vibe wasn't there. Right when we talked on the phone, it was there. When we texted, it was there. But once we actually got in the same space, I was like, "You're not my type of people." Like it's just not right. And I understood they partied in a different way than I partied. Now, of course, we're just having regular drinks at Applebee's, but I knew it wasn't. So I remember, and I'm being transparent, I remember getting back to my car and them asking for a kiss. And I was like, no, I don't, necessarily think that's not, tonight was good. Let's, try for it. You're searching for words to say no, right? And so, well, at least give me a hug. I did buy dinner. I did buy you drinks. You're not going to give me. And so then it's just going in a different direction. And so now it's like, what do I say so that I leave home? I leave here and I'm alive. That's just truth be told. And so then I went to Dipsy mode, right? Oh, what do you give? Yes, give me a hug. Right? Yes, did the hug and everything like that. And I was like, hey,
I'm gonna do it again. What is this acting we're doing?
She said it's Dipsy.
Yes, Dipsy, because that was, to me, act so dumb that that they think that you didn't really hear what they was asking and seeing that they didn't understand that you were uncomfortable. So I have to give you something. And I ain't giving you my body. I'm not kissing you. I don't know your lips, man. But I gotta, make you seem that I'm still interested enough for you to allow me to leave and make you think that we're gonna meet again. So I was like, hey, can I call you when I get down the road a little bit? So, because the vibe was so good. I knew that the vibe was off, but I needed to get home. I need to leave. Pew, fast like a NASCAR. So I did the hug. Yeah. And I got my behind out there, pressed blocked on my way. I drove a different way. I did not even drive the same way home. Listen, that ride was a little bit long, but I wanted to make sure I passed a few police stations, fire stations, a couple of hood friend houses. Like, like at that point, it was literally
safe driving through the hood to stay.
I did. I drove straight through the hood. Hey. I did it because it was my safety that was
Right.
number one. And I knew I didn't have the proper protection. I didn't know if I was being followed. And I knew something inside of me didn't feel right. So I need to do I pulled out all the stops. Pepper spray in my hand. I got the key like this. I did everything. But again, it was in a situation where, you know, how do you get out of those situations in a way? For me, it was going the straight ding dong land. Huh? It was a nice day. Thank you for all the drinks. I had an amazing time. You were so amazing. I can't wait for us to have another date. In
Now
my
that could backfire, of course, because now you made him feel as if, and I'm just playing devil's advocate, that oh, this was a great time. She enjoyed me. I enjoyed her. We're gonna get back together. So now he's gonna blow your phone up every single day.
That's why
until he gets another call, until he gets another hug, another meeting, another whatever. A big thing I always tell my friends, you know, we still get out and we still party, is that you should always make sure that there's somebody who knows where you are.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to say what you doing, all of that, but just say, look, I got a date with some dude I've been talking to on the phone at 7 at this location.
So they know
just
where to
call and check. Yeah. So just in case, because, you know, my family watches enough 48 hours, that Criminal Minds and all that mess. I'm not going to be chopped up in little bitty pieces, and my family got to figure out where to go.
If I am,
to find
then they can come and get
okay. If you come get me, because you know exactly where I'm supposed to be. I might not still be there, but at least you know where to start. I mean, and it's not like, oh, I got to tell my business. Huh?
You better start sharing that Find My iPhone. I mean, I know we got some Android users.
Yeah, but you know, just somebody should always know. It doesn't matter. Somebody, whoever has that Android. No, don't entertain.
I still got text messaging. I still have text
messaging.
You do.
But you always let somebody know. I'm gonna try to get them back on topic.
Yeah.
Tell me out. You always know. Let somebody know where you are. You know, so
they can call you.
I have or text somebody and say, "Hey, I'm here. So far, so good." Sometimes my girlfriend and I will have just a code word because I ain't even got time. Because I'm trying to watch my back and make sure he ain't following me. I ain't got time to give you a whole speech.
Right.
Look, here's my code
word. Donut.
Pineapple. Yeah, pineapple, earring, whatever it is. They know something ain't right with this boy.
Margaritas is twisted.
Come on over here and check, you know, call and make sure I'm okay. But so today, because everything is so crazy now, we just have to be more vigilant on our own about our own safety, because there are so many young Black women out there that we are still searching for. And, you know, we just have to start being more selective about the people that we give our company to and making sure that we're safe on our own, you know, because like, you know, we can't always depend on the guy to do right because, you know, sometimes they're crazy. And they don't show it to you. They don't show it. I'm trying to be nice. They don't show it all the time, you know, from the beginning, at the beginning. You find out later on when you in the relationship and now he's grabbing you by your arm saying you're supposed to be, no. You missed all that when you're talking on the telephone, but now you face it.
And I get stone cold crazy. Oh, my brother's on his way. He just got out of jail yesterday.
Yeah, whatever you got to say, sometimes you just have to do. But I encourage you not to lead them on. I try to tell that to one of my friends all the time. Right?
That's good, but
don't lead him home.
We want you to go home after this.
Yeah.
Well, if you got
to be at your house waiting on you.
If you got to lead them on and park at somebody else's house.
Now that is different. Yeah. When you got to just make up something just to get away.
Fight or flight in my spirit to tell. But then, and then, like I said, there's other scenarios because there's times where, like I said, about an altercation. How do you simply say, you know, right now, you know, I don't want to engage in this conversation. There's different, that's one scenario. We're talking about intimacy, but there's also other scenarios that you can back out because it's not, and I hate that I say this. I feel so old and I feel like, I shouldn't hate it, but I feel churchy and older because it's not about what they do. It's literally about you and what you have to live with. Let me say it in that way, because there's been times that I engaged in an altercation, right? And I had to live with that. I still remember being, you know, if it's a fight, I still remember being hit. You still remember that. And when you go to counseling or anything like that, you'll be like, I know I was dealing with trauma. It's not normal for the human body to be hit in any way, or to be emotionally abused, or to be physically abused, or be verbally abused. That's not normal. So in those different situations, what I'm calling for are the know that you have, put a plan in place. I know that sounds real, whatever, fire extinguishers, but put a plan in place when you engage in any situation, because if you don't have a plan, things will go. It's not going to, it's going to go in a way that you did not plan, because I'm such a free spirit. I'd be like, let's flow, what's up? I'm also very green and think everybody nice and they smell sunflowers on a regular. They not going to ever rub me the wrong way, do something negative. But I have learned.
Or they having dreams about you.
That's another show? Is that another show? That must be another show.
But okay. Now, the segment is brought to you by kombucha.
Something, yeah. I was like, bring up something else.
Okay, friend. I see you. I love you
too.
Yeah. So, friend, I mean, if they having dreams about you, let that be a dream, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm speaking for who Titus be getting me off. The process of, just know your options, right? Know your options, have a plan in place. We said some really good things. Brianna said, hey, stick to what you got to say. It is what, and listen, I want y'all to know, if y'all are my friend, you got to hit her for real. Okay. This hat comes down to here. Okay. Yeah. And I can mask up. It's nothing. And I don't care what it is, the situation, because I think for me, I didn't necessarily know that after I made a decision, whether it was right or wrong, that I had a grace period of people that loved me, like you said, that was gonna ride for me. I don't care what you said. I don't care if you said yes, and then it happened. You're uncomfortable a day after. It's nothing. What's up? Pull out. So,
also another big thing is acknowledging your mistakes, because if you put yourself in a situation like that, and you know that you either led somebody on or you did speak illy about someone and now you regret it. You're like, well, after talking with her, I sort of understand her a little bit better now. So she's really not that bad. It's nothing wrong with saying, my bad. I made a mistake. I jumped to the conclusion. I didn't get to know her first. I didn't get to know him first, whatever it is. There's nothing wrong with doing that.
You feel like it was some eyes looking at me.
Ain't nobody looking at you.
Goodness, I'm not even talking to you. No.
No, guilty cans.
Guilty, yeah. What they say, I hit.
I don't know if that's wrong.
Something like whatever.
Yeah.
But that thing, just saying like, yeah, I was talking about you, or I did say this, but my bad. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. That makes you a better person to acknowledge your faults.
Know who you don't deal with. You can say, I just don't mix well with that person.
Yeah.
You don't have to treat that person ill any type of way, because then that person, people will say it all the time. And I didn't believe it. I was like, y'all just saying that because y'all grow too much. At the end of the day, they really do still have your power, because they know they can say something in an instance or do something or move a certain way in an instance, and you are tense.
You're going to be bothered.
And if you hadn't even noticed your own body language, that's why I always seek to tell people, learn yourself, love yourself. So then this is not my character. I'm not going to hold my head down. If I feel uncomfortable, I will speak on it. And if I don't feel like it's the time to engage, and this is the rule, right? I want all of y'all to come to the bunker box. If you cannot detach, do not engage. That means if you cannot say anything nice, or you can't even speak without wanting to choke somebody, don't even look their way. You can still be who you are. You don't not go to places where people love you, because there's people there that you don't necessarily are comfortable with. I'm telling you, from a trauma place. I've been in a place where I stopped being around my family. I stopped being around my friends. There's this situations I felt like I don't want to be an employee here because of people. But I've grown to a place where at the end of the day, one person I will always love to be around is myself. And girl, I rock with you, sis. You are amazing. You super dope. The decisions that we make ain't always the best decisions, but we do try to make some better decisions, and we're growing. And so If anybody else has anything to say it now.
Mm.
No? Okay. So in our closing, I will say thank you, friends, for being very transparent, and in any manner that you are in a situation that you are not you feel like you started, or you were in it at first and you wanted to come out. Listen, hopefully we gave you some steps today in some different situations that you can retreat gracefully and you can keep your crown. And if it's a situation that you need some help with, please feel free to call your local. They have abuse hotline. And if you need that information, please inbox me. But abuse hotline, suicide hotline, because those things are real. You don't have to live with this by yourself. And you guys are amazing. Thank y'all for this hard conversation, but I'm glad I got to have it with you. And that is Letters to Madam.